Review of the US stock market. For today we will look at some interesting companies and also look at the idea that worked. All this is in this review. Microsoft shares.
In one of my reviews, I said that Microsoft shares may fall for a while and offered various options for action, of which there was also a short of their shares, and then the subsequent purchase of shares long.
As you can see from the graph, this idea worked great. The mathematical expectation here was quite excellent for speculators. What can you do about it now?
While stock prices have not grown very high from the take profit point, and therefore you still have the opportunity to buy shares of a high-tech corporation, which has a large position in its market.
My colleague has also talked about Microsoft and their prospects more than once in investment ideas, and therefore I recommend taking a closer look at adding stocks to your investment portfolio. This giant was also not affected by the crisis, and this is a plus for its sustainability. Netflix shares. One of the popular services, whose series everyone has watched for sure, but we will not repeat the same thing that was in previous reviews. What has happened at the moment and what the future can be expected from the company in reality today. Netflix shares bounced off the support level and went further up, but their growth so far has slowed down. The key question is whether this company will be able to make a profit after the pandemic. Now banks industry are becoming popular, since many people prefer to invest in economic recovery, so why do we need Netflix? What cataclysms would not happen, but people will always rest after a hard day and watch their series. Netflix has few competitors on the market, and the company itself is safely part of fun. This is already enough to be confident in the company for decades to come. Victory Capital shares. By the way, it is in vain that they tell us that we do not give any fresh shares, but give everyone well-known companies for a long time. Here's another company you might be interested in. We will talk about it later, but this is a financial investment company that also invests, like we do.
The company was founded in 2013, but they went to the IPO about 2 years ago, so the technical analysis for them is still damp. But we can say that this company is interested in the business itself in investing.
The company has 3 ETFs, which we will also discuss in detail in the next ETF review. But in short, after the short squeeze, the company's shares were instantly redeemed, which speaks of faith in the company on the part of someone large. My opinion is to add to the investment portfolio and not touch the year. It is better not to set the stop loss here, but rather to do with diversification. Forex market review for March 3. In the middle of the week, foreign exchange markets are most active, since many economic news are published most often on Wednesday and Thursday, and all this creates another reason to speculate on stocks and currency pairs. Let's move on to an overview of the Forex market. Currency pair EUR/USD. So, for this currency pair, the deal that I recommended already on February 8 should still work. I assure you that on daily time frames and not for months they wait for the result of the transaction. An acquaintance of mine reported on deals that he held for a year. There are many tactics in the Forex market, and medium-term, long-term trading is one of the acceptable ones. If you work more on senior charts, then I believe you will have a better chance of making money here. But back to the point. On the daily chart, the price again gave a signal in the form of a bullish pin bar at the bottom line of the trend channel. The goals are the same. Updating the maximums.
Who is in the trade and who is not yet can enter here with a mathematical expectation of 1 to 2 if you exit at the renewal of the highs, or 1 to 3 if at the level of 1.2390.
New injections should weaken the dollar, and the US itself does not need it so strong, because it affects the competitiveness of exports. USD-JPY currency pair. This pair was partially analyzed by my colleague in his review of Asia, but I would like to clarify what is happening with this currency pair in more detail and from a different angle.
In this review, my colleague uses fundamental analysis and refers to indicators such as the oversold RSI, but I would not follow the readings of this indicator, especially when the asset is trending.
My vision is that my colleague's main message has precedent, but that won't happen anytime soon. Now the yen has approached a new resistance level and even gave a bearish pin bar there, but this is a trap, because by the strength of the previous bullish candles it is clear that the trend cannot be stopped so easily and we will be able to contemplate a breakout of this level. So far, I do not see any signals for a trend reversal, but I would prepare for this scenario and look for confirming signals on the following days. Currency pair NZD-USD. Alas, my previous recommendation on the hourly chart did not work. Let's analyze the errors, and then we will give an assessment of the current situation. On the hourly chart, I gave a recommendation to short on a breakout with a stop loss.
The breakout passed, but it turned out to be false and we should have been knocked out by stop loss.
If you remember, I immediately gave recommendations on risk management 1 to 3 or more, so let's not get very upset. There is now a stronger signal that will get your attention. A bullish daily pin bar has been formed on the daily chart. My recommendation is to enter with a stop just below the pin bar shadow, or with a ratio of 1 to 2 or 1 to 3.